For mounting the amplifier, we've been asked not to do anything crazy or what we would typically do. Meaning they didn't want a big amp rack that we would typically build when we do something like this, because this is to show off this product and the installation is not the most important aspect of it. And since Alpine doesn't give you a bracket in the box, you know, they didn't want us to spend a bunch of time on making something that, let's say when a dealer sees this, they'd be like, oh, does that come in the box, kind of thing. They didn't want that. That means we need to come up with something basic, something repeatable, very simple to do. We screwed the brackets onto the side of the amplifier. For those of you that are old, you'll remember CD changers. CD changers used to come with these brackets that you could mount, and they had these screws that stuck out that would go through the carpet and you could screw it on. And last night when I was thinking about that, I was like, oh, why don't we just make something like that? So that's what we've done. We've taken some ABS and we've added some M3 screws to it. These are gonna go underneath the carpet, poke through. This will sit on top of it. We'll screw it down into place, and that's it. Super basic style install. They don't want zip ties. They don't want any of that. We're gonna cut a small hole. The wires are gonna come up through the holes and plug into the amplifier. Very factory, very normal, very not five-star-ish style install. Join me in the car and I'll show you what I'm actually talking about. So to mount this amplifier into the trunk, I took this 1/8 inch thick, basically it's a Phillips screwdriver, and heated it up with my torch. And the reason why I did that is there is like an inch thick padding underneath this, and if you've ever tried to drill through a padding or cut through it, sucks. However, if you just take and burn it through, it'll cauterize everything as it goes through, making it nice and smooth, and it gives us our 4 little nubs sticking up out of the floor. Our amplifier will sit on top of that, 4 washers, 4 bolts, and this is officially ready to go. We're gonna be cutting a hole here for the wiring to come out and plug into the amplifier. And there it is. That's what I was talking about. I made a little pocket hole there. The carpet's just folded up so it can go back into place. This is how they wanted it. They wanted it not 5-star, just attached into the car. No. If you're a customer and you ask us to do this, we're gonna tell you no. The only reason why we're doing it this way is because this is a rep car. The rep wants it this way so you can take it around other dealers and show them exactly what comes in the box and how it goes in. Yeah. We would never do it this way. So just so you guys understand, this is driving him nuts. Here's what Fernando wanted to do, just so you have an idea in case you have one of these and you want to do it. Thought was, first, the thought is we're putting it underneath the passenger seat because it'll fit there. We'll remodify the harness, make it go there. If you want to see this thing though, and you're like, no, I really want to see it, we were going to cut a piece of ABS that is this shape here. We're going to put the amplifier up on risers. We're going to pull the harness apart, at least all the way over to here. We're going to make it look, the wire would probably come back this way, dress it all up, make it look really nice, maybe put a lasered Tesla logo or something like that on there. That's how Fernando envisioned it, but we were asked to do it like this.
Expectations,
one
reality.
You feel better now, Fernando? Is that enough of a disclosure?
No.
Okay, anyways, back to it. Now it is time to connect to our battery. This is a 13mm bolt here underneath the seat. Loosen that up, put our ring terminal into place. Our wire is zip tied in, goes underneath the main harness here, and easily comes in following this master power wire that is running up to underneath the hood. Make sure that it is nice and tight, and you're all set, and you can continue moving forward, putting the car back together as you go. Just to show you what I mean, here is the back of the car all set. Right here is where those wires come across. There's a nice big gap there that you don't see at first, but it is there. Can't even tell there's an amplifier in there, but when you do, pull this guy forward, it's nice and hidden and looks all clean and sexy, which is exactly what he wanted. Power up procedure. Put the car back to factory, powering it back up, start in the back. Basically, we're gonna do this in reverse order. Plug the battery back in, make sure the lock is set. Then come up to the front of the car, replace the low voltage connector, line it up, push. Oh, you can just hear everything just starting to go crazy. Then the last step is, make sure you have the key card. Push the brake pedal. Ooh, the brake pedal went in. Ooh. We're getting the Tesla logo on the screen. The car is booting back up. Let it go through its thing, and then we'll turn it on. see what it does. We still have a whole bunch of software stuff we have to do with the amplifier. Right now, while we're filming this, the software to tune the amplifier is not available. However, when you see this, it may be. The one cool feature about this car is that Alpine has already done a tune for it. The idea is download the software onto your computer, plug it into the amplifier, and then you download the Model Y software, upload it to the amplifier, and you're done. That's what we're gonna be doing here today. We're not gonna be digging deep into the software for its intended purpose. I can't wait. When the amplifier is plugged in, has this pulsing look to it, which is cool. That's letting you know that it's talking. That's standard Alpine procedure. And what we have over here is the DSP software. It looks very familiar to previous Alpine software. If we select home, we can come into here. We're using Dan's tune right now from Alpine. There again, once this becomes full production, you'll just pick one and you'll be all set, and it'll be all set and ready to go. But now that we have the appropriate software loaded into the amplifier, all we have to do is close it all up and listen to some music. Yay! Let's go. I know.
If you put it in the standard. What a change.
I have no idea. No telling. Hit pause. Here's a couple things here in the end that we ran into that often are the case. First thing was the driver's side tweeter pins. It was weird. It's not like it got bent, but it kind of got bent. So we didn't have any tweeter, popped the tweeter off, looked at it, we're like, that's weird, plugged it back in. So it was like, okay, no big deal. The second thing we ran into was we had no rear speakers. So we had nothing playing from the rear. It's very odd. Pulled the rear quarter panel and it was, there again, the clips didn't sit perfect. And so we lost the rear and the mid bass and the front. We took it all apart and was like, you know, and it was like, oh yeah, they came on. Definitely, just like we ran into on the front, we couldn't get the plug in. In the back, make sure that those plugs are super, like, just like gorilla those things. Just like, and squish them and make sure that they're in perfect. The nice thing is that if it is something like that, you don't have to like unplug the whole car just to make sure that they're clipped. Other than that, with Dan's tune, it sounds amazing. There was some rattle in the back. Obviously, you have a 10-inch woofer, which I'm honestly surprised. The 10-inch woofer puts out a lot of bass.
It does.
It's really nice. And it's not like sound treatment would help. It's just, it's buried in that back corner. It has panels on top of it. You're gonna get some rattle out of it. It's expected, but it's a ton more bass than you had before, which is really, really nice. All in all, I think Alpine did a really nice job on this system as far as price, value, sound, everything you got with the kit. A couple things I would like to see changed are some form of a mounting bracket would be ideal for each car. It's kind of odd that Alpine didn't do that because most of the restyle kits do have that. Sound quality wise, it's great because it comes with a tune, and if you want to change it, it's easy enough to go into the software and do, so I like that. That is pretty cool. That amplifier is doing the magic that we were kind of worried like it might not do, and it does. It does. It's like, it's pretty cool. I'm interested to see how that amplifier does outside of this. If that's just what we got for these cars, then Alpine's definitely doing okay, for sure. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, we gotta let you go. You got anything?
That's it.
You good? Sentiments the same?
Yep.
All right. Mr. Excitement over here is ready to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Fernando, if you please.
On to the next one, guys.
You guys have a great night as always, and we'll see you later next time.
Bye.
Bye.